Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, did you ever
What's
think
up,
you'd
guys?
be back? Cheers.
Excited to be back.
Cheers.
Don't worry. I got this nice
Throwback
throwback theater can.
Well played.
Caitlin Clark just did what no one saw coming, and she did it live via Zoom in a no-holds-barred interview with WNBA legends Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. From the second she appeared on screen, it was clear this wasn't going to be your typical feel-good segment. It was raw, it was real, and it pulled back the curtain on everything from her transition to the WNBA, to locker room rumors, to what really went down in those gritty college matchups, all with Caitlin's signature humor and charm product placement. There we go. Our show loves it. Our show loves it. But what exactly did she reveal, and why is everyone in the basketball world buzzing about it right now? Stick around, because Caitlin didn't hold back about a lot of things about Paige Beckers, about Diana Taurasi, and even about the baseless lies Cheryl Swoops has been spreading about the team. Are you ready? Let's go. It was the call back heard round the internet 1 year ago. Diana Taurasi looked into the camera and sent a now infamous warning to Caitlin Clark. Reality is coming. Remember this? What will the league have in store for them when they get there? Look, SVP, reality is coming. Okay, you know there's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it, of course, and you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Fast forward to this year, and needless to say, Deanna ate her words. Clark's response: a smirk, a subtle nod, and a confident smile. The energy was electric, it was witty, playful, but make no mistake, it was also a statement. Congrats on your retirement. Thank you. And congrats. Unfortunately, reality is coming to me now. What's your big plans? What are you going to do? You know, I keep telling Sue I thought I was going to have all this time to do all these things. I'm more busy now. So if I give you any advice, play as long as possible. We'll see. We'll get to 10 years, then we'll think about it. 10 years for Diana Taurasi sharing the court with Caitlin Clark was more than just another matchup. It was a generational moment. Reflecting on their first game in Phoenix, Taurasi didn't hold back on the atmosphere. It felt like the last game ever going to be played. The crowd was electric, the hype was real, and it wasn't just about basketball. It was about witnessing a torch being passed in real time. Diana spoke with admiration, highlighting how surreal it was to finally face the players she'd been watching dominate college hoops for years. What was it like for you two to play against each other? It was amazing, you know. I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe, and to be on the court. And, you know, the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played there was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy, all the people that came out to see Caitlin and you know, our teams play against each other. It really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, you know, if you could play against anyone, that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin at least for a couple games. And to me, that meant a lot. You know, like, we've been doing this for a long time. And to see Caitlin do what she does is, I think someone said the other day, I'm like, I want the season to start so I can watch you again. Caitlin's take, just as classy, but with that signature edge. She remembered that Phoenix matchup too, only this time it was personal. We were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. She recalled the pride obvious in her voice. That comeback wasn't just a stat on the board. It was a defining moment for her and her team, facing a legend like Taurasi. And coming out on top, that's the stuff that builds confidence. And Caitlin made sure to note what it was like to play against Dean. Well, I was saying, like, that game in Phoenix, because we only played in Phoenix one time, And it was before Olympic break, obviously. We had All-Star there too, but it was a great game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was like our first win versus a team that was above 500, so thank you. I appreciate that. But beneath the competitive fire, there was mutual respect. The moment became bigger than just a single game. It was a clash of eras captured in real time. Caitlin and Deanna may be on different ends of their careers, but the impact they're both making, that's timeless. And as they joked and smiled through the memory, one thing was clear. This was more than banter. It was basketball's past and future sitting in perfect harmony. Caitlin, how excited are you for this next WNBA season? New head coach and Stephanie White. You added Natasha Howard, who Sue knows really well. Dana Bonner, which I know really well, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, it seems like, from the outside, this roster is ready to compete now, which is easy for us to say. We know there's a process to get there, but when you see that and you see those names come in, what does that make you feel? Like Caitlin Clark is heading into the new WNBA season with more than just momentum. She's stepping in with firepower. Speaking about her revamped roster, she couldn't hide her excitement. New head coach Stephanie White, veterans like Natasha Howard and Dwayna Bonner, shot makers like Sophie Cunningham, and defensive dynamos like Sydney Coulson and Brianna Turner-Clark, knows the names and, more importantly, she knows what they bring. But she also knows the challenge ahead with 7 new players in a limited window to build chemistry. Caitlin's already in figure-it-out mode, but she's embracing it. Oh, well, I mean, obviously on paper, we have a really good team, but, you only have, we start training camp, I think, on the 27th, and then, we have a back-to-back of preseason games on May 3rd and May 4th. So it's you have a very short amount of time to put that together, and 7 new pieces, and whether we carry 11 or 12, it's more than half of our roster. That's, that's a hard thing within itself, but we should be pretty good. And I'm excited about it. I think what we needed was, we added a lot more experience in the playoffs. We just didn't have that. We were a young Drew, even, kill. Obviously, with being with the Fever through her entire career, she hasn't really had the opportunity to play in a ton of playoff games. So having that, whether it's Sydney Folson, whether it's DB, whether it's Natasha Howard, whoever it is, I think having that experience is going to be really good for us in that leadership in the locker room. So I'm excited, and it's not just the mental game. She's been leveling up. It's physical too. When asked about that viral off-season photo where her arms looked unusually jacked, Caitlin burst out laughing, and there was the viral picture that went around showing off your guns. Everyone's wondering, have you been hitting the weight room? Was it the camera angle? What happened? How did you do that? I've been trying to do that for 20 years. AI is getting out of control. Come on. But then came the truth. She admitted she spent a ton of time in the weight room, not just to look the part, but to feel more dominant on the court. She even pinpointed areas of growth, adding a floater, finishing through contact, and owning the mid-range. It's clear she's not just training to maintain, she's training to take over, working on your game, trying to get stronger. A lot of time in the weight room, and it's something I kind of enjoy. So it's been pretty easy for me to spend time in there and really work on that part of my game. And I think the biggest thing on the court is just that mid-range area. I got pretty uncomfortable in there when I would get in there, whether that's I didn't really have any floater. I didn't like taking a mid-range jump shot. So just getting more comfortable when I get my feet kind of into the paint. Honestly, trying to just add a floater to my game and finishing through contact and little things like that. But I think I was just going back to the weapons that we've added this year. There's going to be so many different things that we're able to do that I think it'll be able to make my life a little bit easier, and should make everybody's life a little bit easier on our team. That level of self-awareness is rare, especially for someone who's still so early in their pro career. But Caitlin's already acting like a vet. I kind of enjoy it. She said of the grind, referring to both the physical prep and the leadership challenges that come with a star-packed roster. She knows expectations are high, but she's meeting them head on. Remember that time when Cheryl Swoops was saying that the Indiana Fever locker room is toxic? People in the Fever were like, y'all That's not my point. There's a lot of other going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be over there. Yeah, there's some new going on around there a lot. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't want to be here. This is where I want to be. Well, Caitlin Clark's finally addressed that head on that whole week, was like, Indiana, they don't get along, you know, all this. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, this is the most together team I've ever seen. Is that one of the hardest things for you as a pro now, just seeing all the narratives like that one, that your team didn't get along and just having to literally ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true? She confirmed what we all knew all along. What Swoop said were simply not true. I think it's something you kind of just become used to. It's like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't at the end of the day. It's just, you know, the girls that you have in there, and then obviously your coaching staff, and that's all that matters. And honestly, like, the best thing about last year is, like, we honestly had so much fun together. Yeah, we lost our first 8 games or whatever, but like, we wouldn't have won if we didn't have a tight-knit circle or a good locker room. And that's the reason we kind of turned everything around, is just we like needed some time. We were a young group, and you know, we figured it out. But yeah, it was really fun. Honestly, Caitlin Clark knows what it's like to go to war with UConn. And she remembers every moment. We played them 3 times. She recalls citing matchups from the Phil Knight tournament to the Sweet 16, and finally in the Final Four. Each time was a test. And each time Gino Rama's team came prepared, they always had the best scouts against me, she said. You could tell how smart he is. So when you play against a coach, Arama coached team. What kind of beast is that? Well, I think they just are so disciplined. Like, that's just, they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it really well. And also, I think, like, for myself, facing his teams, like, they always had some of the best scouts against me. Like, you could tell how smart he is. Like, he understands the game. He's coached against so many really good players. And, you know, there were games I would go into, and, like, the scouts were just like, it was just like, come on. Like, why are you going under ball screens? Why are you in drop coverage? But, like, it just made it difficult. Like, that wasn't just flattery. It was frustration mixed with respect, whether it was different defensive looks or elite defenders pounding her full court. Caitlin made it clear, UConn never made it easy. He always had something in his back pocket, she said, about Gino, and that made every game a chess match. She would throw different defenders at me. And obviously having Nika Mule last year, like, she's probably one of the better defenders that I've faced. Like, she's just up in your grill. She'll pick you up 94 FT, like, but then he just always has an answer, has different people, and I think that's one of the best things about him. Like, he has one game plan, but then he has something in his back pocket that he can go through, and that's going to bother you again. But it's not just the program Caitlin respects, it's the players too. When asked about Paige Beckers, her tone shifted into admiration mode. Her poise, Caitlin said, immediately, that's something you need coming into the W. She praised Paige's calm, mature presence on the court, how nothing ever seems to shake her. When you watch Paige play and you see her in the next level, what are the things that obviously she's going to take to the WNBA and it's going to translate instantly? And what are the things that you know it takes you a couple games to get used to? I think her poise, like, that's something you need coming into the W. It like all hits you so fast. It's like you're moving to a new city, you're trying to understand new teammates, you have a new coach, while you're trying to live up to all these expectations. And I think that's like one of the greatest things about her game, is just her poise and her maturity, and nothing ever seems to faze her. She can score at all 3 levels. Caitlin added calling Paige's mid-range game some of the best she's ever seen. That's high praise from someone who's dominated at every level. But Caitlin didn't stop there. She noted Paige's versatility too. She can play point guard or off the ball. That'll be interesting next to our, I think she'll honestly fit right in. So and like that arena is fun to play into. Like it's a small place, it's loud. You know, honestly, they should move every game to American Airlines, because I think Paige has that type of draw. Like, she'll be able to bring those type of fans in. I know we're playing there one of our games. Hopefully the other one gets moved too. We would appreciate that, Dallas Wings, if you can move the other one. I love it. I love this, you know, Conversation's getting good when it turns to technical fouls. And with Deanna Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Caitlin Clark all in the mix, it didn't disappoint. Speaking of how much Dee loves refs and technicals and ejections, here's the time. Here's the time Deanna got it ejected and sent me this photo from the locker room. Oh my gosh, got tossed. That's awesome. Oh yeah, Dee, tell us what happened. The segment turned into a comedic therapy session with everyone owning up to their less than peaceful moments on the court. Diana proudly wore her rep, sharing how she once got tossed after picking up a tech in both the first and third quarters. It was time to go home. She laughed. I think I picked one up quick in the first quarter, which is you're always doomed when you pick up a quick one. And then I picked one up in the third quarter, and it was time to go home. So took my ass to the back and chilled out, and my team got the win. And we went from there, but I had to make sure, did you get last year? Say that again, Kaylin. How many second pulls did you get last year? So last year, I think, I think the limit is 7, and you got 6. I got Sue, on the other hand, claimed her near-perfect record, earning eye rolls and teasing from both sides. That's when the spotlight hit Caitlin. I got 6, she admitted, referring to the WNBA 7 tech limit. Then deadpan delivery. Half of mine weren't even for talking to refs. And I got 2 for slapping the stanchion of the hoop. And then I got another one for accidentally hitting somebody in the eye. So 3, half of mine weren't even like me getting to talk to the ref, which was dumb. Yeah, I hate those side technicals. It's like, just look away. Why are you looking at me? Act like you didn't see it. Go call the foul. What are you looking at me for? But even in all the laughs, there was a serious edge beneath it. Caitlin knows the optics, the expectations, the leadership role she's stepping into. That's why she ended with a subtle promise to her coach, Stephanie White, to keep the fire but not cross the line. Still, when asked to set an over-under for her techs this season, she said she promised only 2, and both Diana and Sue confidently took the over. I got 6 my whole career, too. I can see it. Oh, wow. Ooh, Sue, you're so perfect. That's good. Okay, Caitlin, over-under technical. The refs love me. I'm going 4.5, over-under. Over 4.5 under. I'm going over 2. I already told them we're too nice 2, and it's more games. Oh, it's more, the odds are against you. I was close to getting suspended for our last game, and like, obviously every front office or your GM like tries to like get your technicals taken away, and they wouldn't take any of mine away. And as the interview wound down, the laughs kept rolling. Deanna teased Caitlin about the infamous WNBA All-Star setup game, calling it a trap for the newbies, while Caitlin, cup in hand, just smiled and said, "I had a great time." It was a full circle moment, legends, and the league's newest star bonding over shared stories, wild games, and the chaos that makes the WNBA unforgettable. And as Sue and Diana wished her luck for the season, you could feel it. Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the conversation anymore. She is the conversation. Do you want to be like her, or you want to be like me? This is your choice this year. This is your choice. It's like the angel. I'll be in the middle. Don't worry. In the middle. Thank you. Perfect. All right, guys. I don't know if you saw, but this is turning into a little bit of a blowout, a little bit of, oh my God, we are going to take a look at some memories. Caitlin versus Dee in the All-Star game in Phoenix, as Deanna likes to call it, the ultimate. That's the setup game. It's a setup game, Caitlin. When you're on the next national team, don't play in that game. It's the ultimate setup. It's a setup. It's a setup. You guys are all losing fun. I had a great time. I had a great time. Look at my stuff in my hand. I had a great time. She was having the best for the team, WNBA. I was on that side of the court. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the conversation. She owned it. In a room, well, a Zoom with 2 of the greatest to ever do it, she proved that she's not just hype. She's sharp, she's grounded, and she's got the kind of edge that makes legends nod. Approval from playful jabs to raw honesty. She showed exactly why the future of women's basketball is in very good hands. And if this interview is any sign of what's coming next on the court and off, we're all in for something special. Let us know in the comments how excited you are, because training camp will happen in a few weeks, in preseason in less than a month. Like, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next